of how to edit the digi.cash website. So the first step is you need to be logged in. You need to get the login link from me and a username password, and a way to buy a username password for the Shield as well. So there'll be two logins. The first one is the Shield password and the second one is the user login. This once you've done that, you'll end up at your user page, and from there you can start editing. Editing on this site is done by the browse and edit model. So you browse to the page that you want to edit, and then you can click the edit button, which is down here in this toolbar, which view, edit, delete and revisions in it, and you will be shown a form. So a form like this, where you can then change the content. Now this is a front page, the front page editing, and it is made of a template which is a page and layout. It's called a page and layout template, and this template lets you move components around. It's one of the more complicated but flexible. Pretty much lets you do anything in terms of composing page of these components. So it's made of a whole bunch of components. There are several, and if you click on this you can see what they are. There's row, which is a container and lets you create columns of things. There's a banner, which is a top level image. A block, which lets you pull in one of our predetermined smart kind of objects. Checkerboard tile here, which gives you a name, a link, a password, and a title, text and an image to build up. I'll show you all these things. I'll show you the ones that I've used anyway shortly. There's a banner, and these are pretty much our standard components. Just a general image, a square one that's formatted to be square so it fits in nice like checkerboard style. You can add a menu here, which will actually present the menu as part of the site. There's text, and then you can add a form if you want. But in this, we are just editing the component that goes from the top level banner to the footer. So the footer and the header are edited elsewhere. So when I mentioned banner, the menu, then you can add a menu anywhere in the content. It's not talking about the menus that are at the top of the page. Okay, so going through, here's a row. The only thing in the row is this, which style do you like? Okay, you can pick the number of columns, 1, 2 or 3, etc., and which style. So here is a 2 column with orange background, and that looks like this, with the image on there and the text on the side. Okay, so if I go back and edit again, then we can edit our image, push on the edit link that's at the top here, and we can remove this image and replace it with one of the images that are in our library. I'll go through adding things to the library in a while. So the image we had was this one, I think. So we can select it again. You can select it and you're back to where you are. Push save, and then you also then have to push save down the bottom again. So I'll run through that again. To edit this page, you go edit, you find the component that you want to change and edit it. So there's this payments one, which is a checkerboard, and you change the text, you change the link, and push save, and then you push save down the bottom again, and you get to see the changed text. Okay, so that was editing image, that was editing this checkerboard component. Here's just a plain text one, I think. And there you go. You can 3-column layout. So this one, title, image, text, link, is in this form. So just by picking different components. Okay. You can delete there, but this is front page. It's unusual to do that. Preview is just gives you a preview, but if we're working on a UAT site, it's not important. If you click on anything else rather than the save button, you will go back and you will not have your changes saved. Okay. So there's these structural components, but there's 3 different kinds of forms. Mostly I've done that page and layout because it's the most flexible one, and trying to work out what everything on the site's going to be. So privacy policy, it might be a different one. It is just basic page. So for this one, you get just text and the content section, a title and a content section. It's very simple. So it's not totally limited, but because you can do all these things, you can add bolds, headings, various structural headings. You can add lists, you can add links, you can edit the source if you really want to cut and paste, but be careful, it'll probably clean up some of your code, or hopefully will. So this basic page still gives you a lot of options on how to enter content on the site in a simple way. Again, you just edit, browse to the page, edit, push save, and that's the process completed. There's other things. We do have the web form. You can build a web form. Taxonomy is about creating lists of things. Menus are about editing the main menu, main navigation menu, or this footer menu, which is this main menu navigation presented again. There's this privacy terms and conditions menu. You can just a useful structure. You can reorder things within the menu. I'll just quickly show you. So main navigation, it has edit here. We can add a link to the top navigation and that bottom navigation. We can reorder by dragging things around, and once you've dragged them around and reordered them, you push save, and then your main navigation is changed. Okay, if you push the edit on the here, you can then go in and change the link, which is here. This assumes that the page is pre-existing. Okay, so we're really trying to keep structured content that sticks within a style, consistent style guide. So that's why we recommend, if you're using these text edit things, that you use the structural heading styles. If you cut and paste from Word or another format, you can do some HTML layout in there, but this will try and clean it up. If there's things in that approach that get cleaned up too much, then I can make further exceptions, or give more. And here's all the text that can be shown in this format. So there's that. Other things on the page, it does version everything probably automatically, don't worry about it. If you want to go back or do anything else, you can. This shows what menu's on. If you check the box, you can select the menu and put it in there. And this shows the URL. So if you want to not have it automatically generated from the title URL, then you uncheck the box and fill out a new URL for it. That's pretty much all there is to this site. Oh, wait up, one more thing. Media. Okay, if you want to add an image, you can. Well, people are encouraged to add media by uploading it. It's going content, media, add media. So like we've added all the media at the start. There's a choice. Images or remote videos are very common. So image, here we can browse, we find our image, and we put it in a library. And that means whenever people want to access the image, there's a image in the library, which is here under content media. So we can see our library. These are all things that I've got off the old site that are probably needing to be deleted now. So when you then go into the content and you want to use a image, then it's back to this story here where we edit the image component, and you can I'll just show how to add a new one. Add an image, and then I can add media here. You can browse through that library that we saw before. You can upload a new image here if you like, using the same mechanism. It'll just ask you to upload your image and then ask you for alternate text, which is the text to help the visually so like, yeah, people who can't see the screen gets a bit of text to recommend that to describe what the image is about. So it's assistance technology. Okay, so that's all I can think of at the moment. That is like editing home pages, editing basic pages, adding media, and some of the general features of the site.